Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Press conference of Massimiliano Allegri, our trainer, pre-Atalanta Juventus just ended. It said some really important things. He spoke about different topics, going from his love for the new midfielder with the number 28, Dennis Zakaria. He spoke about the possibility to play with two midfielders. Is that possible, yes or no? Or are we going for three midfielders? He spoke about some players that are absent, but also about the importance of the game. Is it important? Is it crucial? Is it already decisive? We'll speak about his words because, again, he told a lot of things, and if you read between the lines, you can maybe even anticipate the lineup of tomorrow. But first of all, let's do a small recap about the importance of the Serie A match day, because I tell you, we'll have Milan-Sampdoria, but also and especially today, Napoli versus Inter in the Maradona Stadium. A lot of surprises can happen. Let's start with Milan versus Sampdoria. Sampdoria that changed a lot in their winter mercato, adding Sensi from Inter, Conti from Milan, but also the freshly added Giovinco that can maybe play from the beginning or entering. We see a lot of Juventinità there because they also added Rincon that went to Torino, we know that, but he had some past at Juventus. We know that there are Odero, the goalkeeper, there is Egdal, Quagliarella, and so on and so on. So pay attention to Sampdoria. I think that there can be a surprise in that game. Milan that won the derby and they are pumped up, yes, but are they dreaming a bit too much? Let's see. I tell you, I see a surprise in that game. And then you have the really important Napoli versus Inter. At the moment, Inter has 53 points with a game in hand. Napoli and Milan just follow them with 52 each, and then you have Juventus at 45. At the moment, we are really far away from the top, from these three teams, but today everything can change, because imagine if there is a beautiful draw, 1-1. I just tell you a prediction here, 1-1 between Inter and Napoli. That means that Inter will go at 54 with one game in hand, 53 for Napoli. If Milan lose, 52, and Juventus winning tomorrow versus Atalanta, we can go at 48. That means that the Scudetto race can potentially be open again. But of course, if Inter wins today, we can already say goodbye nearly mathematically to the Scudetto. So let's see what will be the result there. I predict a 1-1, a beautiful boring game, so that we don't have to expect too much. Let's see what will happen in that game, but then we have to go back to the press conference, because thinking and calculating the ranking is beautiful. That lets us supporters dream, but if we are not able to win tomorrow, it makes no sense to speak about rankings of Serie A and dreams about fourth spot or second or third or even Scudetto. So we go back to the words of Allegri, starting with something important. He said the game of tomorrow versus Atalanta, that is just behind us, but they have one game in hand, so potentially +1, is important. Yes, absolutely, because we are going towards the last quarter of Serie A. It's important. Is it crucial? Yes, it is crucial. So we don't have to underrate that game, to underestimate the importance of the game. We'll have to give everything. But is it decisive? No, it is not a decisive game. And I know that a lot of supporters will say, is it decisive? Absolutely, it's decisive. Actually, if you look at the ranking, it is not. Because imagine Atalanta winning the game of tomorrow, they go at 46, +1, potentially +4. We still have a lot of games to play until the end of the season. That means that we can potentially recuperate, especially with an Atalanta that will miss their striker Zapata until the end of the season. Season over for Dusan Zapata. Dusan is the dream that is constantly in my brains, in my mind at the moment. The Barbaro, the one that was able to solve that Coppa Italia game versus Sassuolo. Guys, important game, yes. Juventus has no excuses, because I told you Duvan Zapata will not be there. They will miss their great goalkeeper Musso tomorrow. A game that is important. Again, yes, crucial, yes, decisive, no, but we have to go for the win. And if you look at the facial expression of Massimiliano Allegri, you know that he's actually giving a message to the team, telling them, guys, tomorrow we have to go for the win. There is no excuse. We have to go for the win. We can't just wait. We will have to play physically, technically, but pay attention because there is a lot of enthusiasm around Juventus with the new arrivals of Zakaria, with the new arrival of Vlahovic. We know it. We spent a lot of energy because unconsciously we wanted to prove something to the supporters. We wanted to show that Juventus with the two new arrival was again at the top, that we could potentially win 4-0, 5-0. It didn't happen versus Verona and versus Sassuolo, but the idea, especially in the second half of Coppa Italia, was there that we could potentially do a lot of things. So that means that we spent a lot of mental and physical energy. We can't complain about playing on Thursday in Coppa Italia because Atalanta played also on Thursday. So the games were played on the same day for the both teams, so there is no excuse. Mentally, Juventus is a bit more enthusiasm because we won versus Sassuolo, while Atalanta was eliminated at the last minute from a goal of Fiorentina. Subs are crucial. These were the words also of Allegri. Why are the subs crucial? Because we saw that we started with a 4-2-3-1. It was not going that well. Remember that first horrendous, really ugly first half versus Sassuolo, but the changes were really crucial. And we are speaking about Rabiot entering the field, Locatelli entering the field, and Morata, and especially Morata, that changed totally the game. And then he spoke about the game that can potentially see the midfield with two players. That was the question of a journalist, and he said actually no, tomorrow we'll not play with two midfielders. Why? Because we are missing Bernardeschi. This is actually a proof or a confirmation that McKennie, that played in that position in a 4-2-3-1 on the left in that offensive trio, it's not an option because he's not playing at his best. It's not his ideal position. He tried and he couldn't. He failed. He was much better in a three-man midfielder, McKennie. And so that's why he said at the moment it's not a possibility to see Zakaria next to Locatelli. So that goes to a confirmation of a three-man midfielder tomorrow. With Arthur, I'm doubting a lot about that. So I believe that we will see other men. I will come back on the lineup in a few seconds. Don't forget to put a maximum of like because it's not over. He spoke about Zakaria, a key player for Juventus. A player that is really smart. He was praising actually the fact that he was able to adapt that fast to Juventus, and that's really something that not a lot of players are able to do. A player that is really precise in the passes he's doing with a beautiful vision, and that's why he was actually blaming the team, that they were not yet in February precise enough in their passes, something that we have to improve. Look at McKennie that had 70% of pass accuracy, not enough for our midfield that has to do less mistakes. We will have no Bernardeschi as mentioned, but also no Chiellini. So we are going towards a 4-3-2-1 or 4-3-1-2, how you want to call it, with the trio that will be Morata, Dybala and Vlahovic. He didn't answer really the question, Allegri. He let that open. He said, we will see if we will have them on the field all together or not, because Moiskin will be back, but I can guarantee you tomorrow we will start with the three men, also to show to Atalanta that we want to do the game. Who will be on the back? Danilo on the right, De Sciglio on the left, and there will be Bonucci, together with De Ligt, Chesney in the goal. Three-man midfield, I see Locatelli playing as a number 6 with on the right side Zakaria, and Rabiot that is able to play these kind of physical games on the left. On top, we already spoke about the Dybala, Vlahovic and Morata. That's the lineup that I predict for tomorrow. With super subs, because he spoke about the importance of the super subs, Cuadrado and McKennie ready to enter the game, and also an Arthur ready depending on how the game will be. But tomorrow will be a really physical game, so pay attention. Not sure if we will see a lot of Arthur there tomorrow. Guys, I told you again and I repeat you, tomorrow is an important game. Yes, a crucial game, a game that Juventus has to win. We have to enter that field with grinta, but also pay attention for the enthusiasm of the score of Napoli-Inter. That will tell us a lot. So don't forget to put a maximum of like. I'm sorry again, at the moment I'm not 100% of my physical condition because I'm sick. So thank you for putting a maximum of like. Thank you for everything. Grazie, forza, Juve.